Hey everybody, it's Mr. Mazzoro, and today I'm going to talk to you about fruits and vegetables, specifically what the difference is between a fruit and a vegetable, why plants make fruits, and what those fruits are designed to do for the plant. Specifically, they're designed to spread the seeds, so we'll talk about how they're designed to spread the seeds. And lastly, we're going to talk about once those seeds are spread, how germination occurs. So, first, fruits and vegetables. What's a fruit? Botanically speaking, a fruit is a ripened ovary of a flowering plant that protects and spreads plant seeds. The fruit, in a completely plant sense, is a well-developed plant ovary. When you eat a fruit, you're eating a well-developed plant ovary. The seeds inside of a fruit, which is what makes a fruit, are actually what used to be the eggs inside the ovary. The difference between fruits and vegetables is that fruits are anything that contains a seed. This is the fruits that we are used to eating, things like tomatoes or apples, and some things that you don't necessarily think of as fruits, like dandelion heads. They have a seed, so they're a fruit. Walnuts, pecans, any nut has a seed, so it's a fruit. A vegetable, on the other hand, is just the edible part of a plant. This could be fruits that we eat. It could also be the leaves of lettuce. It could be a carrot or a potato. It could also be fruits that it could also be the roots of plants, stuff like ginger. There are fruits that are vegetables. For instance, pumpkins. Pumpkins are fruit. They contain a seed. They're also a vegetable because we eat them. There are vegetables that are not fruits, leaves of lettuce. And there are fruits that are not vegetable, dandelion heads, because we don't eat them. So, right here, nut. Does it contain a seed? Yep, it's a fruit. Dandelion head. Here's the seed, fruit. String beans. Inside the string beans, there's a seed. So string beans are, botanically speaking, a fruit. Carrots. No seed anywhere here, vegetable. Potatoes. No seed anywhere here, vegetable. Lettuce, or spinach in this case. No seed anywhere here, vegetable. Edible, but they don't contain a seed. Why are fruits made? Fruits are made to spread the seed. It's important for fruits to spread seeds because that ensures that the seeds, once they germinate, don't compete with the parent plants for nutrients. If that seed just lands right on the ground close to the parent plant and germinates, that baby plant is going to compete with its parent plant for light and space to grow and water and nutrients. And the parent plant doesn't want to compete. So it wants its seeds, once they're made, to get away from them. And there are 3 ways plants spread seeds. The first is water. Coconuts would be an example of a seed that's spread by water. Animals, burrs that get stuck to dog fur, or those little things that get stuck to your socks when you walk through the woods. Those would be animal spread fruits. And lastly, wind. I'm sorry, not second to lastly, wind. Wind can carry the seeds of dandelions, wind spread fruits. And lastly, propulsion, which means bursting or spraying. This is a squirting cucumber. And it literally squirts its seeds out, literally shoots them out like BB gun, like BBs or bullets. And that bursting process, spraying those seeds, spreads those seeds all around. So, what are common seeds spread by wind? Tumbleweeds. These would be fruits, right? And then the fruits drop the seeds as they tumble around, and that's a wind spread seed or wind spread fruit. Dandelions, we already mentioned, spread their seeds through wind, air. Maple, Pinocchio noses, helicopter down, and that helicoptering allows their seeds a longer descent and maybe for a longer time to get away from the parent. Lastly, milkweed. Milkweed has seeds that look a lot like dandelion, and again, those seeds are spread via wind, just like dandelion. There are some seeds that are also spread by animals. This could be coffee, which actually are these berries that are red and eaten by this guy, what's called a African palm civet. When the African palm civet poops, it poops out the coffee beans with their own little packets of fertilizer ready to actually grow into new coffee plants. Watermelon, a classic example of an animal spread seed. We eat the watermelon and spit the seed out. Or it passes right through us and gets deposited with, just like the coffee, its own little packet of fertilizer. Peppers are another fruit that spreads its seed via animals, only it's not supposed to be human beings. It's actually supposed to be birds. Peppers are spicy. These are Carolina Reapers, the spiciest pepper in the world. Peppers are spicy to deter us from eating them because we have very fast and complete digestive systems that would kill these pepper seeds. Instead, peppers develop capsaicin, spice, to stop us from eating them. But birds can't taste that spice, and they don't have as complete digestive systems. So when they eat peppers, the seeds pass right through them and get deposited with a phosphorus-rich fertilizer that helps the pepper plant flower in the future. Also, burrs, those little stickers that stick to your clothes or socks, or sometimes the fur of animals, animal spread fruits. Seed spread by water, common ones. Lotus flowers. These little seeds on the inside of a lotus flower float along the water and can germinate in the water. Once they settle in some sediment, boom, water spread seed. Cattails. Once they break open, they have seeds on the inside of them that actually spread via water. Also, a lot of people don't know this, but some seeds are spread through bursting or propulsion. A classic example of that would be rubber seeds. This is a rubber tree. This white latex that's dripping out of this is actually what can be boiled down and made into rubber, like the rubber in your car tires or your shoes. But a rubber seed, a rubber fruit, looks like this, and the seeds literally burst out of them, basically like bullets from a gun. It can actually be dangerous walking through a rubber tree plantation during the times when all the seeds are bursting open, because it's like getting hit with BBs or paintballs. A seed spread through bursting or propulsion. Irises. Irises burst open, and they basically shoot each one of these seeds out from the burst open fruit. Again, propulsion. Lastly, I already mentioned this, squirting cucumbers. Squirting cucumbers, basically think of them as hand grenades. Once the pressure inside the hand grenade squirting cucumber builds, it breaks off from its parent and squirts its seeds through propulsion, as far from the parent plant as they possibly could get. Once the seeds are spread, in order to grow, they need to germinate. And plants need 3 things to germinate. The first is water. They need water to rehydrate the embryo and soften the seed coat, so the embryo can literally break out of the seed coat. They need oxygen, which helps start the metabolism. And they need warm temperatures, which signals for most seeds the end of winter, the start of spring and summer, for the embryo where it wants to grow. If seeds don't have all 3 of these things, they will not germinate. So, a lot of times you'll see someone plant seeds and then water the seeds that they plant. Well, that's because seeds need water. Or sometimes you'll see people put heat mats underneath the seeds that they plant in order to get them to germinate. That's because seeds need warm temperatures in order to encourage them to germinate. After the seeds germinate, the first part of the seed to break out is actually the root. The root is the first organ to break out because that's going to be the part of the plant that can absorb water and literally start inflating the rest of the stems and leaves inside the root, inside that seed, and breaking it free of the seed coat. More to the point, it doesn't make sense if the leaves were the first part to emerge because the seed's underground. There's no light underground. Or the stems were to be the first part to emerge because the stems support the leaves and there is no leaves underground. The difference between primary and secondary leaves are that the primary leaves are the leaves that are inside the seed, the cotyledons. 2 primary leaves means that this is a dicot. These were the things that were feeding the embryo, keeping it alive for all those months, maybe in the winter, or waiting, keeping that embryo alive until better times come when germination and successful germination is guaranteed. The second set of leaves that emerge from a germinated seedling, those are the first photosynthetic leaves. These cotyledons, these first set of leaves, don't photosynthesize at all. Only the second leaves do. That's why these look different than these. The cotyledons just feed the embryo and allow the secondary leaves to emerge and actually start feeding the plant through photosynthesis. So, what's the difference between fruit and vegetables? Fruits contain seeds. Vegetables are any edible part of a plant. This can be fruits, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Some fruits are vegetables, some fruits are not vegetables, and some vegetables are not fruits. What are fruits designed to do? Spread the seeds of a plant, be it through wind, animals, water, or propulsion. And there's a bunch of different examples that I gave you of all of those: dandelions, wind, squirting cucumbers, propulsion, coconuts for water, coffee and watermelon seeds for animals. Once that seed is spread, it needs three things: warm weather, water, and oxygen to germinate. The first part of the seed to come out is going to be the root, followed by the cotyledons, which are non-photosynthetic leaves, the primary leaves, and then the secondary leaves, the first true leaves, the parts of the plant, the first photosynthetic parts of a plant. So that's it for plant reproduction. That's it for this unit. We went all the way through from different ways that plants reproduce to talking specifically about sexual and asexual reproduction, to talking about flowers and how flowers work and how they encourage pollination and coevolution with their pollinator, and then the development of fruit, and then how fruit spread the seeds, and then once the seed lands in the ground, how you get a new plant. So we've really gone from start to finish, soup to nuts, all of plant reproduction, more or less, a basic helicopter course, right? Very broad. The next unit, we're going to talk about ecology, plant ecology, and what different plant ecologists study, and specifics about plant ecology and how plants interact with their environment. So stay tuned.